Okay, so good morning, everyone. It's a real pleasure to welcome you to this conference. First of all, we would like to say a special thank you on behalf of Marta Pusano Oliva, the main researcher of this OCM project. She cannot be here today with us due to her medical leave, but she sent your very warm regards, and we sent her a very speedy recovery. We also honored to have here the leadership of our university, Dr. Victor Omar Santaner, the Vice Rector of Scientific Policy and Research, Dr. Joana Maria Petrus Bey, the Dean of the Faculty of Philosophy and Letters, and Dr. Maria del Mar Van Relbos, Deputy Director of the Department of Catalan Philology and General Linguistics. Thank you very much for your support and to be here today. Also, many thanks to all of our speakers, those who have traveled from far to be here, and those who cannot be here today due to the closure of airports because of the conflict, so they are going to be connected online. And also a special thanks from those researchers from our university who are going to participate here in the conference too. And of course, thank you to all of you to be here because your presence is what gives real meaning to this event. Before we begin, I would like to talk briefly about this conference and about our project, about OCM project, because this conference is part of the OCM project. It's an IRC funded project currently comprising a team of 11 members with several collaborators. So thank you two to be here. Laia, Chisca, Esteban, Solomon, Nacho, Alba, Ari. And fundamentally, we all look at a question that is becoming more urgent, is how do we understand and respond to environmental harm and environmental crime at sea? And we tried to respond these questions not only in scientific terms, but also in social and legal terms. In the way we talk about it, we represent it, and we make sense of it. And over the next few days, as you know, we will hear from people working in many different fields like law, criminology, biology, environmental science, anthropology, economics, geography, etc. And this diversity is one of the greatest strengths of this project and obviously of this meeting too. And it is especially meaningful to be having this conversation here in the University of Balearic Island, but also in Mallorca. Because as you know, Mallorca is really or deeply connected to the sea, because the sea shapes its economy, its culture, its landscape, and everything life here in Mallorca. And it's a source of beauty and identity, but also it is a space under pressure. Issues like pollution, overexploitation, tourism, and climate change are not distant realities here in Mallorca because they are visible and tangible. So studying these issues today is not important, but it is necessary. Marine ecosystems are under increasing threat, and at the same time, the tools we have or we use to understand these problems are not always enough. So we still struggle with different key questions. Where does the harm begin? When does it become crime? Who is responsible for it? And who do we respond to this crime? And we know that these are complex questions and they require a very hard work together across disciplines, of course, but also to think critically about the way we frame and describe these frames. Because at the end, the way we talk and think about the sea shapes the way we care for it. And let me finish right now with a simple idea. And this idea is that the sea has always been a space of life, but also of shared responsibility. And understanding it better and together is one of the best ways we have to protect it. And thank you again to everyone to make this conference possible. And thank you very much. And I hope you have a wonderful and inspiring conference. And now I would like to give the floor to Maria del Mar Valrell-Bosch, Professor of Catalan Philology and Deputy Head of the Department of Catalan Philology and General Linguistics.
Okay, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the conference's Seas of Consequences, Social and Natural Science Narratives on Environmental Harm and Crime at Sea. This event is organized within the framework of the ERC Consolidator Grant Project, Ocean Crime Narratives, led by its principal investigator, Marta Cuixart Oliva, a distinguished researcher in the Department of Catalan Philology and General Linguistics at the University of the Balearic Islands. Before proceeding, I would like to mention that Dr. Maria Isabel Ripoll Perelló, head of the Department of Catalan Philology and General Linguistics, is unable to join us today due to prior commitments, and in her place, I'm honored to represent the department as Deputy Director. It is a pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of the Department of Catalan Philology and General Linguistics at the University of the Balearic Islands. To the best of our knowledge, this is one of the first international conferences devoted to an interdisciplinary analysis of the cultural and scientific discourses that, since the adoption of the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea in 1982, have shaped the international framework surrounding oceanic crimes and environmental harm. One of the conference's particular strengths lie in its truly interdisciplinary nature, bringing together specialists from a wide range of fields, including, but not limited to, criminology, marine biology, ecological economics, oceanography, and anthropology. We not only warmly welcome scientific initiatives grounded in interdisciplinary approaches, but we are strongly committed to promoting interdisciplinarity in our bachelor's and master's degree programs. Accordingly, our curriculum includes not only courses in literature and in language and linguistics, but also broader interdisciplinary offerings such as interdisciplinary approaches to literature, cultural studies, and history of Catalan culture, among many others. This perspective will also be incorporated into the new bachelor's program we are currently developing, with the aim of enabling students to shape their academic trajectories by specializing either in language and linguistics or in literature, while also offering them the opportunity to pursue a broader and more interdisciplinary path. As a department specializing in Catalan language and literature, we also promote a broad perspective on sustainability and human rights. This commitment is closely connected to the sociolinguistic situation of Catalan, a minoritized language that, despite being widely spoken, continues to face structural challenges in several social domains. In terms of sustainability, we are strongly committed to fostering linguistic and cultural sustainability through our teaching programs, as well as through initiatives in research transfer and public engagement. By linguistic and cultural sustainability, we refer to the preservation and promotion of linguistic and cultural diversity in a global context, ensuring that each language and culture can fully develop all its social functions within its historical territory. And this does not exclude the need to learn widely spoken languages or to access global cultural expressions. Rather, it emphasizes that such expansion should not come at the expense of the vitality and future of local languages and cultures. In relation to human rights, we also emphasize the importance of linguistic rights as a fundamental dimension of social justice, advocating for the right of individuals and communities to use, maintain, and develop their own languages in all spheres of life. Before concluding, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to all the members of the organizing committee. Organizing a conference requires a tremendous amount of dedication, coordination, and energy. I would also like to thank all the participants and attendees for their presence and for contributing to what promises to be a rich and stimulating exchange of ideas. Finally, I would like to wish you all a rewarding and inspiring conference. We hope that this event will foster fruitful discussions, new collaborations, and innovative perspectives. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Maria del Mar, and thank you very much to the entire department for your representation here today. And now I would like to give the floor to Joana Maria Petrus Bey, Professor of Regional Geographic Analysis and Dean of the Faculty of Philosophy and Letters.
Gràcies. Bon dia a tots, vicerector,
representant del Departament de Filologia Catalana, investigadors, participants. Per mi és un veritable honor, en nom de la Facultat de Filosofia i Lletres, donar-vos la benvinguda en aquesta conferència internacional, Marcs de conseqüències narratives en les ciències socials i naturals sobre els danys ambientals i els crims a la mà. Permeteu-me en primer lloc felicitar molt sincerament l'equip organitzador, i en particular la doctora Marta Puixant Oliva, així com els coordinadors del Congrés, per haver impulsat una trobada d'aquest nivell acadèmic amb una clara vocació interdisciplinària i internacional. El tema que avui ens convoca és d'una extraordinària rellevància. Els oceans, sovint percebuts com espais llunyans o abstractes, constitueixen en realitat un dels grans escenaris on es dirimeixen algunes de les tensions més urgents del nostre temps. Com ja s'ha dit, l'explotació dels recursos, la degradació ambiental, les desigualtats globals i cada vegada més la necessitat de repensar els marcs jurídics, científics i culturals que en regulen la seva governança. Des d'una facultat com la nostra, dedicada a les humanitats i a les ciències socials, volem reivindicar amb força el valor d'aquests tipus d'aproximacions interdisciplinàries. Entendre els danys ambientals i els crims de la mà no és només una qüestió tècnica o jurídica, és també una qüestió de relats, de representacions i de valors. I és precisament aquest el terreny on el diàleg entre les disciplines, la literatura, la ciència, el dret, les polítiques públiques, la geografia, esdevé imprescindible. A més, el fet que aquest congrés es celebri a les Illes Balears no és en cap cas anecdòtic. Vivim en un territori profundament marcat per la mà, tant des del punt de vista ecològic com econòmic i cultural. Aquesta condició insular ens interpel·la de manera directa i ens confereix també una responsabilitat especial a l'hora de contribuir al debat global sobre la sostenibilitat dels oceans. Estic convençuda que al llarg d'aquests dies les sessions contribuiran no només a avançar en el coneixement acadèmic i científic, sinó també en generar noves preguntes, a establir complicitats intel·lectuals i a enfortir xarxes de col·laboració que transcendiran, sens dubte, aquest encontre. Per tot això us desitjo unes jornades molt profitoses, tant en l'àmbit científic com el personal, i espero que la nostra estada a la nostra universitat, i en especial a la Facultat de Filosofia i Lletres, sigui també molt enriquidora. Moltes gràcies i benvinguts.
Thank you very much, Dr. Petrus, and thank you to the Faculty of Philosophy to be here today. And I would like to give the floor to Dr. Víctor Omar Santaner, Vice Rector for Scientific Policy and Research.
Moltes gràcies, Manuel. Degana de la Facultat de Filosofia i Lletres, estimada Joana Maria, subdirectora del Departament de Filologia Catalana i Lingüística General i IP del grup de Sociolingüística, estimada Maria del Mar, Manuel Cabezas, investigador postdoctoral i coordinador del Congrés, invited speakers, conference participants, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the University of the Balearic Islands on behalf of the rector of the university and my own. My sincere congratulations and gratitude to Dr. Marta Puixant Oliva. Sorry for my voice, I had a quite rough night last night. And the entire Ocean Crime Narratives teams for bringing us together around a question that is as scientifically rigorous as it is socially urgent. This conference is the expression of a remarkable achievement, the first ERC grant ever obtained at the University of the Balearic Islands. We are proud that it was won here, and we are proud of what it has produced, including this gathering. And we know, I know, it is only a parochial pride, knowing full well that many institutions have held dozens of ERC for years. But every institution starts somewhere, and Dr. Puixant Oliva and her team have set a high bar for what comes next at the University of the Balearic Islands in terms of execution of ERCs. You have just heard about the project in detail from my colleagues in the table, so I will not retrace that ground. I will only note that what strikes me most about the OCN approach, the premise that behind the management of the marine environment lie ideologies and discourses. Analyzing those discourses allows us to see which values and assumptions shape our collective response to environmental harm, often implicitly beneath the surface of formal political statements. And I was thinking last night, and in that spirit, I'm reminded of a phrase attributed to Joe Biden, President Joe Biden. It says, "Don't tell me what you value, just show me your budgets," or even better, show me your budget execution. The same logic, I think, applies here. What actually matters is not only what is explicitly declared or publicly declared, but what is normalized, silenced, or even rendered invisible. That is the deeper diagnosis that this kind of research makes possible, and we are very grateful for that. And it is a diagnosis that requires the particular conditions that only a public university like this one, like the UIB, can provide. The challenges addressed by this conference, environmental crime, ocean governance, the intersection of law, science, and narrative that we were just talking about, do not yield to short-term agendas or private interests. They demand the freedom to ask inconvenient questions, the institutional independence to follow evidence wherever it leads, and the long-time horizons that public research alone can sustain, and not private initiatives. So UIB is that kind of institution, and this project is a very good proof of it. But before closing, let me say a few words about where you just landed. And I'm now talking to our visitors from abroad. Mallorca, as you know, it's a beautiful island, and we are genuinely delighted to have you here. It is also an island that, you might know, receives over 15 million visitors per year, generating tourism revenues that in a single summer month approach about 4,000 million euros. This is a figure which has no context, but the university budget, annual university budget, is 20 times less than this monthly revenue. So I mention this not as much as a complaint, which we can interpret, but as a context. Your presence here generates a fundamentally different kind of value, one that no tourism statistics can capture. And our research excellence at university is something you can build on. The UIB ranks among the top Spanish universities in terms of the proportion of highly cited articles, particularly in international collaboration. So I deeply encourage you to use these days to connect with the researchers here at the UIB. And I will draw your attention to our Visiting Scholars program, which offers funding for research stays and is open to scholars from any discipline. So I encourage you to inquire your colleagues here at the university about this program. So my and our warmest thanks to the organizing committee and the LISEC for Consolidated Research Group, and to Marta, our deepest admiration and every good wish for a full and swift recovery. Thank you all of you for coming here, for helping us balance the counts in terms of type of visitors to Mallorca. Welcome to our university, and I wish you all a productive and inspiring conference. Thank you. Bueno, comenzau la parte académica. Sí, claro. Perfecto. Mejor para vosotros.